Hello, everybody, and welcome again to the 10th episode now of Casting My Clan. So, we're in this game. So, let's look at the teams we got on the blue side. Tom Kench in the top lane, Nocturne is the jungler, Diana is the mid laner, Boulder the bot carry, Timo is the support. On the red team, you got Mundo in the top lane, Evelyn is going to be the jungler, Arian Soul in the mid lane, Malzahar is going to be the APC, the bot carry in this case, and Vel'Koz is the support. So if we look at the matchup already, it's kind of a bit of an iffy one, I would say, right now, because, well, you got interesting setup. You got the Timo as the support, as I'm going to point out already. I am the Smolder in this game, and then you have this Malzahar Vel'Koz bot lane, which, if you look at the lineup of the red team, they're kind of in a bit of a pickle if the blue team itemizes correctly here right now, because you can see 4 of the 5 characters in the team are magic damage, so they need a lot to be careful about magic resistance. But we see the Tom Kench going in on to the Mundo. Mundo just pick up his passive, so that's something to keep an eye out for. But Tom Kench is putting up a lot of pressure here. Just how you kind of want to see this go around right now. And right now, Arian Soul is getting pressured quite heavily by the Diana. It does get a good pull in there. The beam does quite a bit of damage, but not enough to really put her into a bad position. Arian Soul has to be very careful, because if the Diana plays it out correctly, he has a bad time going on to this one. Meanwhile, otherwise, it's just kind of like a setup thing right now. Mundo and Tom Kench still brawling each other away. Not really much about that one. But yeah, Mundo just giving some slashes out here, just how it's going to go right now. Everybody just kind of trying to find their ways through this one. I have to point out, for me in the bot lane, it was kind of a really hard matchup, to be honest, to play, because you got everybody setting up here. You got the Vel'Koz and the Malzahar. As Smolder, you kind of have a situation where you can kind of play around that, but generally you're just not in a good spot with everything. Mundo going on to the Tom. Can the Tom actually survive this one? That's the question. He does give one lash there. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, there is a bit of a knock up there from the Vel'Koz, and Smolder has to take another hit there. And it has a disconnect, which is very unfortunate for the blue team, because that does put them into a bit of a wonky situation, I would say, right now. With everything going on about this matchup, but you can generally see how it's going on right now. Vel'Koz putting up a lot of pressure here. A lot of damage being put in there. Luckily enough, Diana comes back into the game, so that should not be a worry about this one, really. And just look how this play. Oh, Tom goes in. Does get the passive from Mundo. Mundo does get a plate there, but he has to be very careful about this one. Pops his ghost. Flash from the Tom. He does jump away there. Mundo looks like he managed to run through this one completely without any issues whatsoever. Meanwhile, Nocturne is in a bad spot right now. Gets pressured quite a bit out of here. And everything is going on here right now. A lot of problems here. Flash from the Arian Soul, but Nocturne is still coming in there. Comes in, picks up the first blood. So that's one thing to keep in mind right now. And now we see a 1-0 lead. Took about 4 minutes, so that's quite a bit of time. And thanks to that, it's about a 300 gold lead right now for the blue team with their 1-zip lead. Everything to keep in mind about this one, really. And that Nazar did take one other one there, so that's going to be a very interesting situation to play around right now. We do have both sides looking for their opportunity to do something about it. Oh, but Arian Soul just tries to increase the pressure. Diana takes quite a few stacks there, so this could be a benefit for the Arian Soul, to be honest, about this whole thing. I'm trying to find some more points here, but not really having much about that one. Mundo goes in there, gets some good slaps in here. Not much about the stun right now. He does get the stun, so the passive is procced out of there. He does have the black shield, and Mundo's still holding on here, though. Mundo manages to walk away. Does get a good throw in there. Com tries to get a surprise there. Not really working out. Mundo says bye-bye. And Soul pressuring out, trying to get some more advantages off that. Diana gets a good jump there. Ignite. That should be the dead Orion Soul. 2-1. Still about a 300 gold lead. And I don't know what their Orion Soul has to do with that one because, well, Diana can't really do much about that one. Diana has, unfortunately, another disconnect. And that could cause a lot. Mundo's taking tower shots. Everything's going a bit chaotic here right now. And Nocturne is found that he's going to go towards the bot side. I'm not too sure if this should be the play you really would go for right now because it could affect you quite a bit. But yeah, just goes in there, gives a slap there. It goes towards the river right now, and I'm not sure if this is the right position to do this. You don't have a mid laner right now, so they do have kind of the advantage to play around right now, which could cause a lot of problems. Emo and Nocturne are on there already. Evelyn looking for a pick off here. Rinso's coming around as well, so there's a bit of a situation here brewing around. Nocturne is dead. Teemo's trying to get out of there, but I'm not too sure this is really where you want to be. Now comes in there. Eve takes quite a bit of damage, but that's not enough. Eve does go down to the Teemo, so that's another advantage here. But however, this is not good right now. There's a lot of damage being put out here. Smolder goes a lot on Malzahar. There's an Ignite as well, and Malzahar barely survives that one. A lot of HP goes out. Flash from the Vel'Koz takes down the Smolder, and with that, it's a 3-for-1. And I'm not too sure you would go for that if you don't have a jungler there. Don't have a mid laner there. That feels like kind of a decision that is really bad. Comes back now. Not really the position to play in. Nocturne once again goes along there. I'm not too sure if this is the wisest choice. Comes in there. They did get the shield already procced by the Vel'Koz, and once again the Nocturne dies twice in the span of a minute around this Drake pit. With that, honestly, the blue team have to give it up. This whole situation leads to a 1-kill lead for the red team, and about 800 gold lead for the red team as well. But Evelyn once again dies on the Drake, so this Drake pit has seen a lot of deaths in this game. A lot of them here. But Diana's going in there, picking off some things, and looks like blue team do get that Drake. It's surprising, gotta be honest. I say that as somebody who has actually played the game because I didn't remember us taking the Drake in that one. But okay, we got the Drake there. Bit of a surprise, as I said. Wasn't expecting that to happen there. Quite a bit of something here. And a lot of pressure being put on top of this red team. And they do have a bit of about a 300 gold lead. That's something to keep in mind right now. Thanks to the CS lead that is actually not that big. I'm kind of surprised that the CS lead. Mom comes in there, and that's a dead Vel'Koz. There is the Malzahar ult, comes out of their Teemos, putting a lot of pressure as well as Smolder onto the Malzahar. Taking quite a bit of damage, but they do let him walk away there instead of risking too much in that fight. Mundo's sitting in the blue side's top jungle, and going in here pretty heavily. Good pull in there, but is the Orion Soul ult as well. Ignite goes out there, and that's a dead Orion Soul, and 2 kills go over to the blue team during that span right now. Oh, Diana just only is in a bad situation. Only has to be ulted here, to be honest, right now by the Eve, and doesn't even ult there. Picks up the kill, but didn't even ult. Kind of surprised about that one. So we're at 8-6 right now, and a slight 100 gold lead right now. About 100 gold lead for the blue side. Gotta keep an eye out for how everything goes right now. A lot of situations can develop out of this one, but right now it's quite good for the blue side just to keep this up the way it is right now. Just pushing themselves a bit further as they can right now. And I'm not too sure if you really want to play this out the way you do. You're the red team, because Eve's not having a good time. Orion Soul's not having a good time. The bot lane is kind of fine with how they're going, but it's not really their chance to really take advantage of anything right now, as it looks like. They do get the pickoffs, but they're not really doing much about that one. And top lane is kind of their big player right now with the Mundo. Even though it doesn't look like that with him being 1 and 2, but he does have a gold lead and everything. If I look correctly at that. No, actually they're pretty even, honestly. And with the disconnect, has a gold lead on the Arena, so that's not where you want to be. But yeah, the bot lane for the blue team doesn't really have an advantage to do anything about that. Vel'Koz takes quite a bit of damage already. Be very careful about that one. Smolder gets on top of him. He has to pop the heal there. Malzahar ults there after the Vel'Koz ulted, and that's a dead bot lane there. And Nocturne picks up a double for that for the pain as well. So also pretty good. Picks up the Mundo. This could get pretty interesting now. Mundo's pretty low, and Tahm wins that fight out directly. Okay. Bit of a surprise there. Strikebreaker now on the Nocturne. Diana gets on top of the Orenso. No opportunity for him to outplay that one. And he is gone. Heartsteel's now up on the Tahm as well. Malignant's on the Malzahar. Diana's close to a Dusk and Dawn as well, so that's another opportunity here to play around whatever you got. Gold Relies Crystal Scepter on the Orenso. I'm not too sure if that would be really a first item you want to pick up. Mundo now picked up the Heartsteel as well. Not what you normally see from Mundos. Mundos kind of more... well, jungle Mundos tend to go Heartsteel first, and top lane Mundos most of the time go for the 4 giant belts into Warmocks to get the passive. Which I would suspect would be Mundo's next play, to go for the passive. To be completely honest about that one, Nocturne just kind of increasing the pressure completely on the enemy bot lane. Helps out the already winning lane. Diana gets on top of the Orenso once again. Orenso tries to do what he can, really. Tahm just doesn't care. Evelyn now has the Lich Bane, so there's item now on the Evelyn too, but still a bit of a rough situation, I would say, for this team. Red team have 6 kills, and double that is on the blue team, and Diana looks for another one, gets the ignite off. Is that enough to kill the Orenso? He's burning slowly down. Yes, it is. 13-6, and about 1,000 and a bit, 1,700 gold lead right now, looks like right now, if we look at it. Oh, Mundo's trying to still beat on this Tahm Kench is holding up as much as he can, and the tongue lashing to finish it off. He tries to find a way out of that one. No opportunity in that darkness, and that means another death. 15-6. We're 13 minutes into this game, and the Diana is pretty far ahead, is working on the Dusk till Dawn, and that's going to be then a big item spike for that one. Meanwhile, I don't know what really is going to be the opportunity for this red team right now to play this one out, because their itemization, I said, looks pretty heavy towards that one. You can see the Nocturne is already, wisely enough, going for the great Merc Treads to even out everything on damage that can come in there, really, and that will eliminate a lot of it. Second Drake wanders over into the hands of the blue team as well, and that's a mountain that hurts a lot as well. Malzahar comes in with the ult. Mom comes in around, doesn't put down the Vel'Koz, but now there's a Q that puts down the Vel'Koz. That's it. Rinso once again stands still, gets taken out by the Diana. This is the thing for the Rinso. He's in a matchup where you can't really play this out. Loon's Echo now on the Vel'Koz. Problem is, the Vel'Koz has no opportunity to really play this one out as much as you want to do right now. Diana's getting the damage in here, playing good. Oh, there is now the charm, but nope, Eve can't take advantage of that one, really. The pressure is being put further and further up here right now. The Diana probably has the Dusk and Dawn, I would feel like, in the bank right now. Few Merc Treads already on this blue team, so they understand the assignment. Mulder is going towards that as well. Timo not, because he wants to get a bit more pressure in here, but honestly right now, you can see most of the team understand the assignment. They have to play around this, and they want to do it. And once again, the tanks go into their little fight fest once again, and Mundo's not looking good with that because he did take once again another hit there. And Tom just increasing the pressure on the Mundo. Not really much the Mundo can do about that, really. Trying to find a way out of this one. But really, not much really going on here right now. Let's be honest about this situation. Mundo trying to hold up. Meanwhile, there is the Eve just being taken out by the Diana in her own jungle. So that's another spot you don't want to be. Nocturne is actually topside, so the Mundo's in a bad spot. He just has to watch as the Ignite burns him down as well. That's another death. 19-7. And Mundo, I mean, it makes kind of sense for Mundo with the Tahm Kench who's putting pressure on him. The Nocturne is putting pressure on him. The Smolder who could push pressure on him later on. To go with the plated steel caps. However, the big problem is going to be they have to figure out a way to hold up as much as they can. Diana is actually just sitting in the jungle. Is that really going to happen? What I feel like is going to happen. Diana's just waiting there. There's no vision whatsoever. So this is, well, it doesn't matter. Diana just goes in there. Eve has to ult out of this situation and walk away. TP in from the Tahm Kench, so there's going to be a big party going around in this, probably in this one. However, Eve doesn't get to see much from that one because Diana already put the pressure on that one. Diana's not in a good spot right now. She is against 3 right now. Gets ulted up immediately there. No opportunity to really get on top. If their mom comes in there, not really doing much about that one. But Irin Soul's not in good position. Has to walk away from this one already. So that's another player out of this fight. Diana did die there, which is a bit unfortunate. Let's be honest about that one. Where Nocturne meanwhile finds a bit of a push there as well. So another opportunity won by the blue team there. 20-8 is the score right now. About a 4,000 gold lead right now, which benefits the blue team quite a bit. Question about that, we do have now bounties popping up on the map, so that's another thing. Rinso stands under the tower, visible for everybody. Nocturne does ult him there, and that's another pickup there, and no opportunity whatsoever to do about that one. Somebody is not happy about what happened there. Let's be honest about that. Mundo has to pop the ghost there after being eaten for a moment. Gets knocked up as well. So Tahm Kench has every opportunity to play this one out completely. Boulder has to flash that Malzahar. Do I think? Not too sure. And now Mundo's trying to find a way out. This one gets knocked up. And another slap while Diana died. Killed off the Eve in the jungle. So still nothing really good for this red team going on. 23-8. So we've rarely seen such a heavy stomp, let's be honest about that one. And that's really what we're going for right now. Malzahar is going in there. I don't know what his opportunity was there, but walks into 2, dies there. He did get the barrier from Smolder, but I mean, you're dead. You're dead. You gave gold to the Smolder. I'm not too sure if you would be celebrating that. Dusk and Dawn is now done on the Diana as well, so that's another thing to keep in mind. Mundo is going for something. Is now going for the Thornmail? Has bought the Bramble Vest, which is a bit of a weird choice, I would say, for a Mundo. I would say probably go for your normal itemization and be good about that one, but it doesn't really look like that's the play that they're going to go for. Bit of a weird situation here, but we can look at the items for a moment since we're at about 1850 into this one. But first, we have this Tahm Kench who's holding up as much as he can. Meanwhile, charge in there from the Nocturne to get some aggression onto that one. Vel'Koz dies for that. Diana goes in there, does explode. Because she was too low in that situation. Now Tahm Kench is... While all that is happening, the bot side is getting pushed in by the Nocturne, Teemo, and Smolder. And that's going to be the tier 2 turret gone. And that should be, honestly, an opening for the Drake for the blue team here. Just keep that up here right now. Gold, the lead is almost 6,000 gold already, so that's going to be a big part about this one. However, there is a lot of resources still on the map for this red team to try to take advantage of. However, Drake looks like it's not going to be one of those. And Nocturne goes on to Eve, just takes her out after she shows herself there. Mundo finds the Tahm Kench once again. Tahm Kench is trying to do as much as he can to dissuade the Mundo. Mundo has popped his ultimate, which I feel like with this skin is not that good visible to see, honestly. But however, was trying to get out of there, no opportunity whatsoever. Nocturne goes in for some aggression here. Velikos pulls out the ultimate. Orenso gets a good knock up on 2 here. However, he does go to the down to the Smolder, meaning another kill for the Smolder. They did get an answer there, so something about that one. Magi Soul Steal on Evelyn. Why? That's a pickup that makes no sense. Malzahar ult puts down the Smolder, but Diana comes in from the side, and that's a dead Vel'Koz. So let's look at the items, since I think we have a moment of reprieve here. Tamkench with the Heartsteel. And probably Dusk and Dawn soon as well as Merc Treads. Mundo, on the other hand, has the Heartsteel, has the plated steel caps. Probably going for a Thornmail, I don't know why though. Well, the Nocturne has a Stripe Breaker, an Experimental Hex Plate, and the Merc Treads, because of course for this lineup it's great to pick up. Oh, Diana goes in there and picks off the Vel'Koz immediately. That was not a play I would think would be a wise choice. So we have then Diana with the Dusk and Dawn. Nothing else yet on the board except the Sorcerer Boots, or the upgraded Sorcerer Boots. Well, on the other hand, you have the Relies and the Liandries for the Aryan Soul. In the bot lane, you see Smolder with an Infinity Edge, Hubris already on the board, as well as the Merc Treads. Oh, Diana goes in there. Eve barely managed to escape that one. Mundo's trying to do his best to chase her down, and looks like that's going to be his opportunity to do that one. Mundo picks up the bounty on that Orient's on the Diana. Mundo still holding up, goes down. Meanwhile, jungle fight on the other side. There is the Nocturne who kills off the Malzahar. And so the dead Malzahar has a Liandry's and a Malignance. Bit of a burn lineup still going on, while Timo has the Malignance going on, has the Sorcerer Boots, probably going for the Blackfire Torch as next item, and the Vel'Koz meanwhile has Ludens and the Sorcerer Boots as well. A lot of damage being put on. Oh, Vel'Koz just evaporated there. Mulder wants more blood, but can't get more damage in there, and Aryan Soul has to is running away for this one. And that's a rough situation. Tower goes down. Mundo can't really stop them from pushing in here further of this one, so not much to be done about this, and just the pressure being has been mounting up. Well, Aryan Soul managed to stop that turret from falling down there, so that's another opportunity to be played around here right now. Nocturne trying to back away, so that's all it's going to be right now. Mulder picks up the last Whisper, and there's the ult onto the Nocturne. That's a dead Nocturne, so that's an opportunity here, but Diana comes in as well. So a lot of pressure being put on top there. Kench meanwhile chased by the Mundo. Mundo does take that one out. Vel'Koz misses that Q completely there, and Tom sees his opportunity for some blood, takes down that one, and now Mundo is the next opponent here. Orenso is going to come in from the side. However, Mundo gets eaten by the Tahm Kench. He's dropping pretty low, goes down. Tahm Kench walks away with the double, jumps away, and now Orenso is trying to figure out how he wants to play this one out, and he has to move away from this Tahm Kench who just got a double and is just walking his merry way. And this is just how you don't want to see everything burn down right now. Everything is going to become problematic for that one. Inhibitor turret goes down. They're trying to find some push power. Run into a Shroom. Vel'Koz is pretty low, and Diana just finishes the job. Eve is coming in from the backside. However, just jump into a Shroom. Drops very, very low and falls to the Teemo poison there. Malzahar, meanwhile, is in the bot lane while they're inhibitors, and well, their base is the ninja. I don't know what this play is. However, Nocturne just picks him off anyway. Mundo trying to hold on there. Oh, Orenso managed to flash. Mom comes in there. Doesn't finish the job there. But they are still very, very close to this one. Mundo walking around is not in the best position to really threaten somebody here. And Teemo sees that as well, tries to take advantage of this one. Takes an Ignite as well, so there's something about that. Vel'Koz does ult there, takes down the Diana. Aurienso trying to find some more pressure here, but he is taking a lot of damage to the Smolder. And meanwhile, Nocturne is going for the soul point, so there's a lot to be considered right now. And this is going to be the soul point wandering away to the blue team already. We're 39 to 15 at 25-30. And the gold lead is not yet 10,000, so that's a positive, I would say, for this red team right now. It's only about 8,000, so all good. Eve is not in a good spot right now, has to ult away there just to be safe from this Tahm Kench, and he does not get an opportunity. Vel'Koz is too far ahead there right now. Let's get a knock up there, but this Nocturne is too far ahead already. Mundo's taking quite a bit of damage. There's the Eve coming in there. They ult even on top of him. They all come in there, take down the Nocturne, and that's going to be his death there. He has picked up a Death Dance as well, so there's a lot for him to play in this card right now. Shadow Flame on the Diana can help out quite a bit as well. Mulder just trying to farm up as much as he can just to get as much as you want on this damage meter right now. Tahm Kench could be in a bad situation there. There are 3 of them right now. There's the Charm going to come out as well. You hit the Charm there. Tahm Kench does have the Black Shield up there, but still not enough damage there, and just going down. Bit too much damage there. Tahm Kench does hand over quite a large bounty, which helps the lead bounce back to about 6,000 right now, which is a big part of this right now. Mundo's not in a good position, just bites the dust. Not looking good here for the red team. It's 41 to 17. They're not looking very good right now. They have to find a situation how to play this one out. Teemo does get a bit of aggression here in this one. Then it moves away. Holds on as much as you can, really. Not much about this one. Then it gets on top of the Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz is going to bite the dust there. Malzahar is running down there as well. Goes down there. Aurienso comes out with the ultimate that kills the Diana with the help of the Malzahar, who gets the kill actually for that one. And right now the blue team are pretty far ahead, but they're making some mistakes which could be costly soon enough. Let's be honest about that one. About a 7,000 gold lead, so the gold lead is not minimizing itself that much. Death cap now on this Diana. I still look at this right now and I'm like, okay, I get that the Mundo is going for this thing, but without the without the Warmogs, it just feels wrong for a Mundo to play that way. Because he does have the Thorn Meal, he has the Spectre's Cowl to take a bit of AP damage off of there, but what is really what the Mundo can do in this game? He's been obliterated most of the time, and the Tahm Kench just decides he was going to do whatever he wants to do. The Dominus Regard now on the Smolder up, so even with the armor that the Mundo has built up till this point, I'm not too sure it's going to be a good spot to be in. Tahm Kench a bit too far forward for his own taste, gotta be honest about that one. The whole team is descending upon him, even the Malzahar comes in there. Diana just jump in there, just get aggressive, takes down the Malzahar, but is still alone there. Not too sure this is really you want to be, but there comes the Nocturne in. Mundo does get a double kill, however. That's a dead Aurian Soul. Mundo is now with the Eve alone. There are only 2 more left on the board right now. Mundo's dropping very, very low. He tries to get some slaps out of there, but not much about that one. And there's Mom coming in there. Does hit the Eve, who took quite a bit of damage, and that's her gone. That should be game. That's going to be the win for this blue team, with them pushing in right now. And that's going to be a good W. That's going to give me 18 LP. And that is game over right now. It does take a moment because next the inhibitor did come back, so there's no Nexus to be hit yet right now. Nexus just needs 1 auto tech, let's be honest about that one. No problem whatsoever. And Nocturne finishes the job. GG.